Hello and welcome back. My name is Kabira and this is my YouTube channel, Kabira Speaks. So on this channel, I talk about a lot of random stuff all the time, but I think I'm gonna start moving more towards focusing on mental health and trauma recovery, because that's like my whole entire life right now, and it's what I'm the most interested in. So today we're going to be talking about mood tracking. This is something that I just started doing recently, and it has been so helpful for me. So I kind of just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. And encourage you to try it because it's pretty nice. So I thought maybe that I might have bipolar disorder. I'm still not sure. I do know that sometimes I feel really bad, and that can last for a while. And then other times I don't feel as bad. So there's two different types of bipolar disorder, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Actually, there might be more than that. That's just the only ones that I really know about. But bipolar 1 is where, you have the depressive episodes and then the manic episodes. And I've never experienced mania, but in bipolar 2 disorder, you have the depressive episodes, and then you might experience what is known as hypomania, which is not where you're like flying off the rails per se, making like crazy decisions or spending thousands of dollars, but your mood might be elevated and you might be doing those things to a lesser degree, if that makes any sense. So I suspected that maybe I might have bipolar 2 disorder, just because I feel like I'm on a roller coaster sometimes. And the depressive episodes last much longer than the good episodes do. I shouldn't say that because I don't even know if I have bipolar disorder or not. I was just thinking about it and considering maybe I do. So I went in to see a psychiatrist to get back on Lexapro to manage my depression and anxiety. And when I was there, because I haven't seen a psychiatrist in a while, when I was there, I said, hey, I think I might have bipolar disorder. And she was like, well, really didn't like make a big deal about it or anything, which is okay. I do read. First of all, I work in the mental health field. Second of all, it's something that's really important to me. So I spend a lot of time reading about different things and researching. And a lot of times people who have bipolar disorder, they get a diagnosis after shit hits the fan, like big time. Like they're hospitalized because they're manic or depressive to the point where they like are thinking about suicide, like really extreme. So I don't know what happens for the people who aren't at rock bottom, but their moods aren't like stable. But when I talked to the psychiatrist about this, I did tell her that I do drink like very regularly. So that really, it affects your mood. Like alcohol is a depressant. So it would be impossible to really know, or at least very difficult to know if I have a mood disorder if I'm regularly using something that affects my mood. So I got back on Lexapro, and I had good days and I had bad days, but I was thinking to myself, because she didn't really take that any further, since, the point of that appointment was to just get back on my antidepressant. So I thought to myself, like, what would I tell someone who might be thinking this? I would tell them to track their moods. So that's what I started doing for myself. I was looking on Amazon for different mood tracker journals, because there's a ton of different things, and I wanted something that was organized, that I didn't have to like set up for myself. I was browsing, and then one day I was in Walmart, just getting toys for the kids I work with, and not even in the notebook aisle, I found this little guy at Walmart. It says Wellness Journal. So I picked it up. It was $10, and I love it. I really love it, and I feel like it's really helping me. So today, it's about 5 o'clock right now, and I've been having such a nice day. I feel almost elated. I feel almost giddy. I'm just really happy today. So I wrote that all down in my mood journal. So let me show you a little bit how it works. First of all, I guess I should say that there's a bunch of different kinds. This is just one that I found, and I liked the way it was set up. But there's tons and tons and tons out there, and you don't even need to go out and buy a specific book. I just found it helpful because it's already organized, but you can just get a notebook and write it down. You can use your phone and track your moods, like in your notes app or something. Other people use different systems, like a coloring method. There's all different types of ways, but this is the one that I have, and this is the one that I like. And I would say, like, doing it on your phone might be the most convenient because you always have your phone with you and you don't really need to carry anything around. But there is something to be said about pen to paper. And here's my beautiful pen. I love this. I tweeted the other day that on my Christmas list, I wanted some nice ass pens. And my sister Habiba overnighted these and some other nice things to me. So this is a nice slick writer pen, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So I take very good care of it. I don't want to lose it. Anyway, so I'll show you how my journal's set up. I did go through and put some sticky notes over certain details just because of my work and confidentiality things. I don't want anyone to see any private information. Okay. If found, please return to Kabira Rose. That's me. Hopefully no one... I like having taking this with me in my backpack. You can do this at any point. You can do it in the morning. You can do it at night for part of your bedtime routine. I just like jotting in it throughout the day. And it's not very big or heavy, so it just stays on me. Keep that motherfucking thing on me. Okay, so this is how mine is set up. In the beginning, it has like how you can organize your week. It has a spot for your mantra. My mantra for the first week was, I can turn things around at any time. Then it has your, a place where you can write like what you've eaten. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through. I had several binge days and I wrote it down. So for example, like on Thursday of last week, I had a Subway salad, French toast sticks, sausage, syrup, mushroom soup, sweet potato fries, 10-piece chicken McNugget, fries, and several cocktails. And I started my day with just coffee. And I hadn't eaten breakfast that day. And then I binged later. Next day, same thing. Just had coffee for breakfast. Huge binge. I ate Chinese food that day. And then I had wine. So, yeah, I've been writing down what I eat. I don't know if this is intended to be like meal planning, but I just use it to record what I have eaten because I'm not really one for meal. Like, I don't know what I'm going to want to eat from one day to the next. So I just write down what I've had. And yeah, so there's that part. There's self-care goals over here. So the way this is formatted is kind of like bullet journal style. You can really organize it however you want. That's the thing. I like to include little doodles in mine because I like to doodle. But my self-care goals for the week were to take my medicine, call Habiba, text my friend Caroline, and to take a walk. And then it also has productivity goals. So mine was to create a morning to-do list because that's really, really helpful for me. And I've been putting those in here too, just like the whole shebang. And there's some other things on here like habits to achieve your goals and then rewards for meeting those goals. You should always reward yourself. And it doesn't have to be tangible and it doesn't have to be food. But it is nice to reward yourself and, savor your little wins and savor your big wins too. So that's like the weekly setup. I use that part a little. What really I love the most is the day-to-day. So I'll show you what that looks like. So my first day that I used this, I had a fantastic day. And I started this on December 2nd. So, I had a fantastic day, but then it went downhill. So I started my day at 7:30. It does have this section over here that you can, is this backwards? I think it is. Sorry. So you can write what time you woke up, and then you can say what time you went to bed. I was up pretty late. You can like kind of write your schedule down here. This has today's appointments, sorry. So my day on December 2nd, I went to the office at 7:30. It was amazing. I put my mood as this. I do remember that day. I went into the office. So I get to work from home for my behavioral consulting job. Get to work from home, and then I also go visit kids at their school and at their houses. And the office is 45 minutes away from my house. So I do like to work from home, but I'm not really that good at it. Like, I get really distracted and it's very hard for me to get things done. So on this day, I had worked overnight at my other job, the rehab I work at. And then in the morning, I went to the office because these two buildings are much closer to each other. Went there at 7:30 in the morning. No one was there. So I could work in peace and quiet and not feel like socially awkward or anxious. And I got so much done, and that made me feel really good. So I wrote that down. I had really good sessions with my kids that day. I looked at an apartment. It felt great. And I'm writing this all in like a bulleted style. So if you've known me at all, you know that I also journal, which is something really good that you can do for yourself. But this is different. Like, this is more of a narrative style. I put a lot more like I'm telling a story in this. And here I'm just boom, boom, boom. This is what happened. This is how it made me feel. So after I had that great work day, I went on a date with someone that I had been seeing from OkCupid. I had several drinks. I felt really big. Too much PDA. Like, and then when I got home from the date, I binged a McDonald's. And then the next day, I slept until 11 a.m. and skipped 2 of my sessions. I canceled them. At the bottom, it has a place where you can put your meditative activity and for how long. And then here, physical activity, which I walked for 45 minutes that day. So my day started out here, and it went downhill. Wrote it all down. On the other side of this has just some more details that you can add. It's all about the details. Screen time, I started tracking my screen time. The weather, that day it was cloudy. What I did for self-care, so I showered, I brushed my teeth. So for other people, self-care can look like doing a face mask or going out and getting your nails done, getting a massage, getting your hair done. I'm not there yet. For me, like, my self-care is literally just showering because it's so hard for me to do things when I'm depressed. So if I shower and brush my teeth and, do all those little things, I'm gonna write that down as my self-care. And then as I start to feel better, my self-care might be other things. But for right now, that's pretty much what I've been writing each day. Talk to Blakely, that's my self-care. It's my best friend, if you don't know that. Acts of kindness, I didn't do anything. I'm sure I did kind things, but this is what I'm kind of struggling with. I don't like use this section too much, acts of kindness. Sometimes I cross it out and just use it to write down other things like a to-do list. You can really make this you can make it anything that you want, okay? It's not a right or wrong way to do it. Lesson learned that day, I have a big fear of answering the phone. Hate answering the phone, unless it's like Blakely. It just makes me very anxious, same with answering the mail. So that day, I got a phone call from work, answered it on the second ring, and they were offering me a new client. So my lesson for that day was answering the phone is not scary. It could be something good. New client. Today, I'm great. And then it has a section for your gratefulness. So I'm grateful for fresh starts. And then it has a section for affirmations. So my affirmation for that day was, I can do anything I want to. I'm not going to read you all of this. I just wanted to show you how mine is organized and give you some ideas. So something that's really great about mood tracking is you can see how external forces may be affecting your mood. So like the weather, how much are you on your phone, or how much TV do you watch? You can track not only your moods, but also your habits and your behaviors. And I have begun to see some patterns in my behavior and my actions. And it's been so helpful for me because, I mean, obviously I know that alcohol doesn't make me feel good. I know that. I say that. But there's been something about writing it down. Like, the days that I drank, I felt shitty. This day, I drank, I felt shitty. Oh, this was a bad day. See, I wrote bad behavior. And so I did a lot of things on this day that I'm not proud of. DoorDash, drinking, smoking, just like things that I don't love. And I canceled a date that day. I just had a really shitty day that day. And I checked off these guys. Not good. I'm reserving this one. It looks like the Mr. Yuck from back in the day. I'm reserving this for when I feel absolutely the lowest, and I'm reserving this one for when I feel really, really happy. I have had a couple of those. And it's also been interesting to see how, like, things I did from the day before bleed over into the next day. So on this day, on the 3rd, I got some bad news. I skipped some sessions. My mood was okay. I spent money that I didn't need to spend. It's another reason why I thought I might have bipolar disorder. I can be very impulsive, like sexually and with my spending and with my decisions sometimes, which might be a hallmark of bipolar disorder. So yeah, on that day, I did those things. Wasn't too proud about it. Went home, wanted fast food, but had sweet potatoes instead. That's good. That's a nice win. It was cold that day. But the next day I overslept. Ooh. And I was late to work because of it. And there's a good possibility that, like, the way I ate and drank the day before caused me to oversleep. And then I felt bad. Yeah. So I had a few bad days in a row, right? I was depressed. And then at this point, I started also tracking my weight because I want to lose weight. I gained weight from a lot of binge eating. You can write if you, like, not only your moods, but also this day I was sick. I was physically not feeling well. So that might affect your mood. Really any little detail that you think might be interesting to see and to track. On this day, I saw my siblings and I had a good day. So I'm noticing that the days that I have my happier moods, I usually connect with someone, another human being, whether that's my siblings or a friend or both. And I also noticed that in the grateful section, I've been putting some of the people I work with. And it's like, I guess I knew that, but seeing it written down, I was like, oh, you know what? I am very grateful for my job and for being able to care for these people and have a relationship with them. And so now that I know that, I can also pass it on and express my gratitude to them. So, which also makes people feel good. Today I'm grateful for Darren and Sierra, my siblings. Daily affirmation, I'm doing great. And at this point, I think my mood was starting to go up a little bit. Or maybe I'm wrong. No. So then the next day it tanked. Canceled all my sessions. That's a huge problem for me with my work. Like, working at the rehab, I have a time to be there and a time to leave. And I'm in one place. My other job is so much more flexible, and it's hard for me sometimes to not say, fuck it, and neglect my responsibilities. And doing that makes me feel bad. I actually feel better when I do the work I'm supposed to do. And that makes me feel very good. And I'm learning this because I'm writing it all down. Okay, so then at the end of that, it has like a week recap section. And similar to the week setup section, I don't use this a lot. I haven't used it a lot. Maybe I will more. So it has a section for a weekly self-care recap. The good things that you did, you can make a list of like the things you're proud of. I journaled, and that's the only thing I have written down. But other things that I was proud of, I could record here. So like I think at the end of this week, I'm gonna say I started making YouTube videos again, and I am proud of that. I also started meditating recently. By recently, I mean yesterday I meditated, and I had such a good day yesterday. I felt on cloud 9 like all day. Same thing today. I tried meditating this morning. I'm usually not one for meditation, but because it has the section where I can write my meditative activity, I was like, well, you know what? Might as well give it a shot. And I think I'm going to get a lot more into that and try to make it a daily habit, because it's crazy how doing that for 10 minutes in the morning made me feel so different throughout the day. Notes and reminders. I deserve a gold star for blank, blank, blank. I haven't filled these out, but maybe I will. It has a weekly happiness score at the bottom. I also haven't used that. You could if you want to, if that is motivating to you. It's on a scale from 1 to 10. So, and it also has a couple blank pages that you can just use to write things down. So I made a list. I noticed that I should be eating breakfast, because the days that I don't, my eating gets out of control. And that's something I really want to work on. So I made a list. Eating things that help, things that hurt. So on my list of things that help, writing things down, if you can't tell, having a schedule, and eating square meals. Things that hurt, smoking, drinking, and pornography. They make me feel bad. So these 3 things are dissociative behaviors for me. I do them so I don't have to feel. Because when I'm doing those things, I don't care about all of the issues and the pain that I have and I feel. It mutes my emotions. And I have got to stop doing that, because it's not helping. I've been doing those things for years and they're not helping. So I'm going to be working on decreasing those behaviors, which is harm reduction. Even if you can't stop whatever your vice is, if you can't stop gambling, if you can't stop watching porn, if you can't stop drinking, if you can't stop smoking, if you can't stop using drugs, if you can't stop self-harming, if you can't stop your video game addiction, those things are hard to just turn off, but you can do them less. And that's a really good place to start. Here are my doodles. These are supposed to be affirmation doodles, but I just have sad doodles. Because I was sad, but that's okay. You gotta feel your feelings. Okay, so that's really, that's it. And then it was a new week and I started it up again. Here was a really good affirmation. I'll just read this to you really quick. It was said in my meditation that I did yesterday, and I loved it. And I'll do a video on meditation at some point, I think. But it said, today is a beautiful day for opportunity. I'm exactly where I need to be. I open myself to the universe as my life unfolds. I thought that was really nice, because I'm at a point right now where I feel like this is not where I thought I would be at this age. And I'm trying to, a lot of days have gone by where I just feel bad. And I don't want my life to just go by in a series of bad days. So I'm trying to appreciate the little things and every moment of my life. Because it's a miracle that I'm alive at all. You know, it really is. To be alive is just a miraculous thing. Like, there's so many parts of you that are working to keep you going. And that's pretty incredible. So I really liked that as an affirmation, and I've been using that as a mantra as well. Yeah. So after the first week, video's getting a little bit long, sorry. After the first week of using my mood journal, I did notice my mood started to kind of go up, because I started noticing like, oh, did this, felt bad, did this, felt bad, spent time with this person, didn't feel good, did this, binged, did this, self-harmed. Not like cutting per se, but there's other ways that a person can harm themselves. And I self-sabotage a lot. I just hold myself back. When does it stop? That's really the gist. Yeah, I've had some good days recently. And I want to keep on having those good days. And I would like you to have good days too. So if you have any questions about mood journaling, mood tracking, or you want to get started, you can drop a comment or message me on any platform. If you do use mood tracking and it works for you, then you can also leave a comment so other people can, get some insight on that. And there's just one other thing that I wanted to show you. What did I do with it? So I found this online. It's called the Feelings Wheel, and I literally just found it. But I think it's so cool. So in my work as a mobile therapist and a behavioral consultant, I work with children all the time on identifying their emotions. But as an adult, we still have to do that. And it's not as easy as you might think. Like, you can know, like, oh, I don't feel good today. But how do you actually feel? Pinpoint that feeling. So this is really cool. I'll drop a link so you can, if you want your own copy, you can have one. In the center of the feelings wheel, it has like base emotions: happy, surprised, bad, fearful, angry, disgusted, sad. See, in the center. And then the second ring breaks those down even further. So I'm feeling happy right now. There are other emotions under the wheel of happy, like playful, content, interested, proud, accepted, powerful, peaceful, trusting, and optimistic. I feel optimistic. I feel so optimistic right now that I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to feel better. And a year from now, when I look back on these videos and the things I wrote down and the things I wanted for myself, I'm going to get those things. I feel so happy and so optimistic. So that helps me to further pinpoint my emotion. And then even further, after optimistic, it says hopeful and inspired. And I do feel both of those things. I do feel hopeful and I do feel inspired. So I'll just give you one other example of like what's on the feelings wheel. And I think how I'm going to start using this is what I just did. How do I feel? How specifically do I feel? And then I can write that down, which I think will be pretty cool just to notice some trends and patterns. Let's say you're feeling bad. So you're feeling bad, but are you bored? Are you busy and feeling bad? Are you tired and feeling bad? Are you starved? That's it for bad. It's not a lot for bad. But that further goes out to indifferent, apathetic, pressured, rushed, overwhelmed, out of control, stressed. Okay, so those things, and you might feel 2 of them at once, 3 of them at once. It doesn't have to be like one specific thing, but it could be. And I think that will be helpful for you and for me, into just being mindful of how we feel and how our actions and our behaviors affect our emotions and then overall our life and our sense of well-being. So yeah, that's all I have. This is now a 30-minute video. Sorry. But stay tuned for more. I'm going to be working, as I work on my own mental health and trauma recovery journey. I want to be recording it and sharing that with you guys. So thank you as always for watching my stuff and being supportive of me. I love it. and I'm grateful for it. Okay, bye.